Goodwood handicap and a very open market. Temporize well back throughout the morning, sent off the 6-1 favourite.
Good afternoon. This looks better. They're off away for the Coral Goodwood handicap, and Emian is away well towards the inside running rail from Land of Winter and Temporize, and Agaggio going forward in the bright green with the black sleeves. Just tracking the leaders towards the running rail is Winter Watch in a yellow jacket, working out wider. Black and orange is Mostly Sunny, followed by Law of the Sea. On the wide outside is Prince Imperial, and they are followed back on the inside rail by Arabescato, soon to be on the outside when they take this left-hand turn. And so Emian leading from Agaggio in second, Land of Winter is third, Mostly Sunny, Temporize and Winter Watch. And then Prince Imperial out wide of Law of the Sea, followed then by Robert Johnson, and then in the midfield calling the wind towards the outside of Tritonic round this left-hand turn. Towards the rear, Motassin at the moment. Typewriter, the Grand Vizier, Vino Victrix is also towards the back of the field as they make their way now round this left-hander, and they'll be heading towards Oak Tree Corner. That's the next big turn, the right-hander, and it is on the rail. Emian from Agaggio, Mostly Sunny, Prince Imperial's out wide, Land of Winter close up from Temporize, and Winter Watch is just behind those in that yellow jacket. Law of the Sea, and then behind those is Robert Johnson, Arabescato the grey, calling the wind in the purple with the white sleeves with the white blaze. Going to be next to the running rail in a second or two from Tritonic, and then further back the Grand Vizier, Motazen towards the back with Tronador and Typewriter in the pink and green jacket, and Vino Victrix is probably just about the back marker, although Motazen losing a bit of ground seemingly. Now right-handed into Oak Tree Corner, and Agaggio with the better line round the inside of Emian as they begin a climb. Just in behind these is Land of Winter, followed by Mostly Sunny, and then Temporize. These are the leading five from Law of the Sea and Prince Imperial white sleeves on the rail. Back to Winter Watch and Calling the Wind, and then Robert Johnson from Tritonic, Arabescato, Grand Vizier, the Grand Vizier from Typewriter, Tronador further back, and Motazen is the back marker, and second last is Vino Victrix. Now into the back straight, and soon they'll be tracking across towards the outside running rail, and it's Emian just the leader by half length, three-quarters of a length to Agaggio and Land of Winter second and third. Temporize remains close up in fourth place from Mostly Sunny. Then Law of the Sea and Winter Watch Calling the Wind is tracking these in a pretty good position in the hands of Neil Callan, with Prince Imperial next, and then Robert Johnson with a white blaze, and Tritonic, who's got rather fewer behind than in front. Then Arabescato, the Grand Vizier, Typewriter. Vino Victrix is still towards the rear of the field with Tronador and Motazen. Climbing now towards the final 6 furlongs in this Coral Goodwood handicap. And Emian on the outside, Agaggio now driven hard, so too Land of Winter. Travelling well is Temporize in fourth place. Law of the Sea goes fifth now from Mostly Sunny, who's come under pressure. Calling the Wind making quite good progress from Winter Watch and Tritonic, and then Prince Imperial down the hill. Typewriter is further back in the pack from Arabescato on the outside, followed by the Grand Vizier, and Vino Victrix is exploring a daring run through the pack. Out the back, Motazen and Tronador and Winter Watch. Emian is taken on by Agaggio again. Agaggio responding to driving, coming back on the scene under Reese Clutterbuck, but tracked through by Temporize and Calling the Wind, who's now in fourth place. Then Land of Winter behind these. Temporize is now switched off the heels of Agaggio, coming with a very promising looking run. Temporize comes through under Luke Morris to take it up now from Agaggio. Then Emian Calling the Wind on the far side, but Temporize has gone to the front inside the final 2 furlongs. Plugging on is Robert Johnson down the outside, Motazen from the back, but Temporize has stayed on and staying on strongly to go 5 lengths clear. Robert Johnson into second and begins to gain. Then Agaggio. Robert Johnson is really finishing off well, and Temporize it's down to about 2.5 lengths to Robert Johnson, but Temporize will hold on and win the Coral Goodwood handicap from Robert Johnson. Tronador from way back might have snatched third from Motazen, then the Grand Vizier and Agaggio.
Temporize, the winner at 6-1. Robert Johnson second at 7-1. Tronador in third at 13-2, and Montazan grabbing fourth place at 25-1. A length and a quarter the winning margin, and a winning favourite, first ever Goodwood success for trainer Sid Hosie. Luke Morris on board, a very good performance. Committed him 2.5 furlongs from home. Plenty left in the locker. Robert Johnson stayed on well, continuing his fine form, but Temporize too good over this extended 2.5 miles. Very tough to the line.
Yes, Luke Morris won this race with Timoshenko for St Mark Prescott back in 2019. He's now in it for Sid Hosie with Temporize. Congratulations. Talk me through the race and how it developed.
I was able to get a lovely smooth trip round. Sometimes this race, it can be a bit of a rough race where a lot of horses can race freely, and you know, it can be a bit of carnage in the middle, but he kind of got away from the start smartly, and I was always keen just to ride him very straightforward, keep it nice and simple, and it went very much like clockwork.
That smart start can often be quite crucial, can't it? Because you don't want to be too far back in this race.
No, exactly. I've ridden St Mark, usually targets one every year at it, and we always have one hard luck story every sort of 3 or 4 years. But this lad, he was an ex-Johnson horse, and he's just very solid and very honest.
And were you always confident? You could probably hear the runner-up thundering after you. Was there plenty left?
Probably after 2 mile, 4.5 in this ground, there wasn't a huge amount left, but to be fair to him, he's ran the last, this is his third run in just over 2 weeks, so he's obviously very resilient and very tough.
And what is the ground like out there? Because the time seems to suggest it's died out quite a bit further.
I thought it was good soft ground, but it's just very sticky and very holding. It's taken plenty of getting, and just where it's drying out there, it's kind of getting to that specialist ground where they very much love it or hate it.
Okay. Does True Legend love or hate this ground? You're riding him later in the 11 furlong handicap.
He's a son of Camelot, and obviously Camelot being a Monju, they generally go with a bit of cut, and St Mark's very hopeful that bringing him onto this sort of surface will unlock some more improvement, which he probably does need because he's off a career high now, but he's a horse that's always worked very well at home, so we're hopeful 81 isn't beyond him.
He's earned that mark though. That was the career best, wasn't it, at Salisbury last time?
Yeah, he's gradually progressed with each start. He had a couple of runs there where he had a bit of a blip, but I thought he stepped forward nicely at Salisbury the other day, and his work suggests 81 certainly not beyond him.
Okay, well, congratulations here, Luke, and best of luck later on.
Brilliant, thank you.
Sid Hosie's just done what all top jumps trainers do, plunder some of the better races at the better festivals on the flat here with Temporize. Many congratulations.
I know.